In today's gospel reading, the feature character is John the Baptist. Now, it turns out to be that John the Baptist and Jesus were family members. The mother of John the Baptist was Elizabeth, and the mother of Jesus was Mary. Those two were first cousins, making John the Baptist and Jesus second cousins, family members. Now, as family members, they got along extremely well. John the Baptist did everything he could for Jesus, and Jesus would likewise reciprocate back to John the Baptist. And that becomes the message of this gospel reading, how important it is to get along with family members. Now, there's a lot of folks that you know in your life. You have a lot of acquaintances, a lot of people that you know. But of all the relationships you have, all the relationships you should consider sacred, well, probably the primary relationship that we should consider sacred is a relationship with God and His Son, Jesus. But right next to that, we should consider our relationship with family extremely important. To do our best to get along with all family members, not just some family members, but that is not the case universally. When you think about your life and your family, there might be a chance that some of you might be able to say, I get along with most of my family, but there's a few that we just don't see eye to eye. And when you look at the division that you might have with a family member, the estrangement that occurred, there's a very good chance that what happened was probably an argument, maybe words were spoken. After those words were spoken, apologies were never made. To say I'm sorry was never offered. To be able to say you're forgiven was never offered. And then this rift, this division, this wall, this feud just continues. And when you look at the origin of separation between you and some other family member, there's a really good chance you just might be able to say the words that I spoke or the words that that person spoke just weren't needed. They should not have been said in the first place. It's something very similar to this video we're going to watch. Let's take a look at this video.
What is that?
A sparrow.
What is that?
I just told you, Father, it's a sparrow.
What is that?
A sparrow, Father, a sparrow, a sparrow!
What is that?
Why are you doing this? I have told you so many times, it's a sparrow, can't you get it? Where are you going?
Loud.
Today, my youngest son, who a few days ago turned 3, was sitting with me at the park when a sparrow sat in front of us. My son asked me 21 times what it was, and I answered all 21 times that it was a sparrow. I hugged him every single time he asked me the same question, again and again, without getting mad, feeling affection for my innocent little boy.
Sometimes in life it's easy to get angry, to get upset, to lose our temper. But you say to yourself after you lose your temper, why did I? It was just a simple little question. That son on that park bench, if he just answered his father's sparrow, then he wouldn't have felt bad, he wouldn't have had to stop reading a newspaper, he wouldn't have to feel empty inside. He just saved sparrow, Dad, that's what it is. But he decided to get mad for some reason. And in getting mad, it led to all that it led. When you think about the divisions you have in family members, what was the origin of those divisions? Because someone decided to say something curt, something that was hurtful and broke someone's heart in half. Now, a person I know, his dad I know, was telling me about a year or two ago that for some reason his teenage son always yells at him. The son yells at the father. I've even witnessed it, and it's a horrible thing to watch when you see a son, a teenage son, and even if the son would be 20, 30, 40 years old, but this would take the case, it's a teenage son yelling at the father. And he told me this son always yells at him. He said, it's I don't know why. He said, my son acts like he's the father, I'm the son. But I'm the father, he's the son, but he always yells at me. He then finally one day he said to me, he called me up, he said, I couldn't take it anymore. You know what I told my son today after he was yelling at me? I said, no, what? He said, I said to my son, do me a favor. Treat me like you treat strangers. Because when you see a stranger, you give a stranger all kind of latitude and all kind of grace, period. You never stop at a stranger. You just answer every question a stranger has, and you go about your business, and you never get harsh with a stranger. Treat me like a stranger. Although I'm your dad, but act like I'm a stranger. Give me some more latitude. The rope you give me is so short, I'm bound to make a mistake. That's why you yell at me all the time. Now, the challenge for Advent is and beyond Advent, is to make sure we get along with those relationships that are most sacred in our lives, and that's a relationship with God and His Son, our Savior. But the second series of relationships that are equally as important is a relationship with our family. I know this is a high stressful time when you're buying gifts and you're wrapping presents and you're decorating and you're trying to get all these things done. You're doing all those things for family, but sometimes we wind up getting mad at the very family we're doing all these things for. And all we do is hurt their heart. They walk away so sad and so dejected. And after you snap at a family member, typically you're left empty as well. And why? What was achieved? What was accomplished when you snapped and yelled at a family member? The answer is absolutely nothing positive, but a whole lot negative. His dad said to his son, treat me like you would a stranger. Now, I'm still your father, but you give a stranger a lot more latitude. Wouldn't that be a really sad thing? Think about it. If you treat strangers better than you do your own family, you give them all kind of latitude, but you keep your family on a tight rope, that's pretty unfortunate. So hopefully as we march toward Christmas and then beyond, you say to yourself, I got to make sure that I treat family really, really special. And if I want to lose my temper, I should just hold my tongue, bite my lip, because that might be the most prudent and the best thing to do.